Well, Miguel, like for those guys who are just jumping in new too, like how long for the average person did it take to relearn that portion of crypto? Like let's say they were here in 2017, they knew crypto back and front, but they're coming back, they don't know anything about DeFi, and they're like, oh, what's Uniswap? Oh, I need to learn to use this. How long did it take our guys to use it? Do you remember?
I mean, it took our. I mean, within one course, we got him into the space to catch him up and stuff like that. It was very quickly.
I was gonna say most of these guys, it took them, 15 minutes to an hour on the weekend to figure it out. Right? We had to basically take them, be like, hey, we're gonna sit you down and we're gonna tell you, hey, you have to use Uniswap. And they're like, do we really need to? And we're like, yes, because they want the easy convenience of what's happening on the centralized exchange, but they don't know the centralized exchange has that disaster potential possibility. Whereas on DeFi, right, you hold your own keys, you hold your own coins, right? So, yeah, I think for people who are paying attention to the market, it doesn't take that much to really learn if you're already used to, other markets and stuff like this. I know, like you've been talking about real estate and other markets here as well. And so, people who have that knowledge, they can apply similar strategies and stuff to crypto as well. So it doesn't take that much to learn. I think a lot of people misunderstand crypto as like, oh, it's only for tech nerds and all stuff like this. It's like, no, pretty much anybody who knows markets can do it. And so like one question I wanted to ask you actually, Justin, was, in terms of crypto, like why do you have like some money in crypto? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who say like, hey, crypto's dead. There's no point in buying it. It's going to zero. But you're saying like, hey, you want to always be in markets. And I agree with that. So I'm just kind of curious, like what got you interested in this asset class in particular?
Yeah. So I look at real estate as like wealthy for sure, and I look at crypto as the ability to almost skip time. Like Miguel and I had a deep conversation about getting to 100M and the time it takes somebody to do that in real estate, or the time that it takes an individual that's paying attention to do it in cryptocurrency. And it's been my experience through meeting people and seeing people make a bunch of money that crypto is actually just a more explosive vehicle. So when I've built a business and I have a lot of discretionary income, why would I not invest in both?
Right.
And so for me, it would be foolish, and I don't want to be kicking myself in the ass in 5 years when I could have just put the $500,000 or the $1 million into crypto and forgot about it, let it go to zero. I only put things in, I put things in one of two places. The stable things that we know aren't going away, like ETH and Bitcoin, or Miguel calls me and says, buy XYZ coin. Normally it has some dumbass name. And I'm like, okay, Miguel, I trust you. Here's 20 grand. Literally that's how it happens, because I'm not going to sit here and act like I know crypto the way you guys are, know it a quarter the way you do, So for me, I believe in relationships, and I believe in co-collabing with people on skill sets to get yourself forward. And that's why I pushed guys earlier in this conversation into your course. And that's why I know that Miguel calls me about real estate stuff. That's why I call him about things that we talk about, all kinds of subjects in life. And I think that men are always better together in that way. But to answer your question, I look at real estate and buying real estate properties as if I buy enough of this, I'll never have to work again. I look at the crypto as this is my chance to go to the moon or the stars or wherever, but I want to be safe about it. And I'm willing to wait, because even the numbers that you just talked about that in 2024, it was a 4 or 8x return you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's unheard of in any situation. And I think that we're in a very special time in history, and I have the disposable income to do it. And I'm okay with it going to zero, even though I think it's not going to. So I hope that answers the question, but it's definitely something that I feel lucky to be able to do. And it's something that I think, even the guys watching should do, even if it's on a smaller scale, because those kind of returns can change your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've seen people do that, like kind of like as an example, right? Like, because before you were mentioning